Medin, bienvenidos, welcome. Today, I'd like to talk to you about my old alma mater, Downeast Elementary. Go Dolphins. I attended Downeast from kindergarten to third grade. Except for the first half of second grade, uh, we moved out of our old house and stayed with my grandmother for a while. So I had to go to a different school because it was in a different district. But then we moved back, not to the same house, but to the same school district, and I was back in Downeast for the second half of second grade, and then all through third grade. If it hadn't been for that little detour, I'd have spent as much time attending Downeast as I did my high school. As it stands, my high school is the grade school I spent the most time attending, with Downeast being a close second. Still, I spent a lot of time there, and it was very early in my life, and looms large, you might say. I wasn't the only one in my family to attend. My siblings, of course, went to Downeast, and later on my brother's kids. And in fact, right now, my cousin's children are going to Downeast. Has a certain role in our lives. And I have a lot of memories about it. I'm not going to talk to you today about the school, shall we say, what happened in class. I'm going to talk to you about more extracurricular events. Of course, there were a number of events hosted by the school, like fundraisers, open houses, and movie nights. Yes, they'd set up a screen in the gym, and we got to watch movies, have a little popcorn. It was nice. One movie I distinctly remember watching at Downeast was Pete's Dragon. The original. Not the one with Robert Redford, but the one with Helen Reddy. And instead of taking place in the Pacific Northwest, it took place in Maine, on the coast of Maine, in the region that we Mainers call Downeast. Huh. Of course, sometimes us kids would go there outside of any official event, especially in the summer, because, they just had a perfectly good playground just sitting right there. We weren't going to let it go to waste. This was especially true for me in the early years before the move to my grandmother's house, because I lived just a couple blocks away from the school, and I could easily walk there. I actually liked walking there in winter because these big snowbanks would pile up on people's lawns, and I'd climb up one side and slide down the other. That was fun. But of course, occasionally in the summer, I'd pop over there, use all those swing sets and stuff. One day in particular really stands out in my memory. I was with a couple of other kids at the school, and we heard music. We walked around the building and saw a man drumming. He'd set up a whole drum kit on the grounds of the school, and he was just banging away on them. As I recall, he was pretty good. We stood there admiring his work for a little while. I don't know how long I was there, but I'm pretty sure he was still drumming by the time I left. I know I never saw that guy again. To my knowledge, anyway. I may have run into him later without recognizing him, but I don't recall seeing anyone drumming on the grounds of Downeast Elementary ever again. I'd like to know about this guy. I'd like to know about him. Maybe he's watching this video now. It's highly unlikely, I know. But if you're out there, did you ever practice drumming on the grounds of Downeast Elementary in the late 80s? If you did, talk to me. Uh, and if he isn't watching it, maybe someone out there knows him. Maybe you have a friend or a relative who practiced drumming on Downeast Elementary School. If you do, if you have any idea who this guy is, let me know. Let's solve the mystery of the Downeast drummer. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your summer. And if you have to, stay safe when you're in school. Khodafez, adios, and goodbye.